It happens every day wherever you go. You go to your favorite restaurant and you order a meal. And you interact with a server who gives you good service the whole evening. You enjoy your meal, and at the end of the night, you pay your ticket, and you give the server a tip, usually about 10 to 15%. And when you leave the restaurant, you feel good because you know you've helped that server out because he or she is only making half of minimum wage plus tips. But did you know that there is another type of server out there who performs the same service and yet is struggling to survive? I'm speaking, of course, of food service delivery drivers. Those men and women who work for companies like DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats or a local company like the one my brother works for, Gadsden To Go. It's tempting to think and easy to believe that employees of such companies that that upcharge from the menu prices of the restaurants they work with and played such a vital role during the COVID-19 pandemic are well compensated, rolling in the dough, and that the same kind of things apply to them as apply to your server at your favorite restaurant. But that's just not the case. There are several key differences that make them entirely different situations altogether. First of all, number one, your server at your favorite restaurant that you tip almost every time you go there is working a steady schedule on either full-time or part-time. Is working a steady schedule, maybe up to 5 days a week, 8 hours a day, and is making, during all of that time, half of minimum wage plus his or her tips. And in the course of an evening, depending on the type of the restaurant and the skill of the server, they may have as many as 20 customers in one night, which is a huge opportunity to make a lot of money in tips over the course of a work week. Okay? And then, second, of course, is the fact that your server is just using their gas to get to and from work. Now, your delivery driver, on the other hand, is, first of all, not guaranteed a shift, even one shift every week. They have to sign up early for as many shifts as they want, or they may not work that week. Secondly, unlike your server at your restaurant, your delivery driver is not getting paid by the hour. This is because the parent companies that hire your delivery driver are hiring them as independent contractors. And depending on the business model of the parent company, the driver is either getting paid a small fee of $3 to $5 per delivery, plus whatever the tips they make, or they're getting paid a small delivery fee, plus whatever tips they are making. But they are not getting an hourly wage, and that is all they are making. And additionally, your driver where your server may be getting 20 in one night. On a good night, your driver will usually average about 6 deliveries. And on a bad night, and this has happened to my brother and to me too, because I ride along with him and get paid a little bit of money myself, you'll go home early with no deliveries and no money made for that night. And what it all amounts to, oh yes, and the gas. Parent company does not compensate your driver for the gas they use. And unlike your server, who is just driving that distance to and from work, your driver is driving all over town delivering food and using gas the whole time. And then they have to refill it, their tanks. They have to refill their tanks out of their own pockets. The parent company does not do this for them. So, what it all boils down to is that your server is making a whole lot less, or not your server, your driver is making a whole lot less money than your server. So much less than your server that your driver can't even afford to qualify for health insurance under the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. They cannot qualify. Any medical expenses that they have to pay full price for out of their own pockets because they can't qualify. So, it's not only courteous, but important that you tip your delivery driver. Because other than that little bitty fee, whether it's that per delivery fee or that delivery service charge, which is usually based on mileage, your tips are the only money they're making. And from the point of view of a delivery driver, when you don't tip, your driver is thinking several things, usually in this sequence. Number one, you just wasted their gas. They had to spend all this gas getting out to you that they're going to have to replace themselves, and they're not getting compensated for it. Number two, if you can afford to spend $50, $60, $70 or more on a meal and that you have delivered to your house, then you can afford to tip your driver. And if you can't afford to tip your driver, number three, you should just either go pick it up yourself, or number four, stay home and cook. And they're not wrong. Okay? And if you can't cook, there are plenty of places where you can find easy step-by-step recipes. Right here on this channel being just one of those places. Okay, guys. That's about it for this video. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you next time. So until then, guys, peace.